Hey guys, did you see Apostle this weekend? What a beautifully shot film. I found it especially interesting how the color goes from muted at the beginning of this film to very vivid at the end of the film. One thing that was a little bit unsettling was that everyone in this film looked so dirty, and there was these henchmen that had these Highlander coats on. That was a little odd. Speaking of dirty, there's one girl that's held hostage and her hair really gave me the heebie-jeebies. It reminded me of just bad memories. Just oof. This movie was kind of boring during the first half, so I have to warn you about that. Much like The Open House, it was shot beautifully. The score was done very, very well, so Netflix is giving these people money to make these movies. Well, partially. It seems that Netflix has money for the crew, for the set designers and the costume designers, for the sound team, for the special effects crew, even for the director of cinematography. But when it came to the writer, they were like, oh, I'm fresh out of money. See, what had happened was, but be patient because I feel like the ending of this movie does pay off. It's almost like the second half of this movie wants to make up for how boring the first half was by giving you some action and a little bit of gore. And when I say gore, I mean people get messed up. Like one character gets repeatedly messed up. He's kind of like the Energizer Bunny, takes a look and keeps on ticking. I think I'm confusing two different commercials, but you know what I mean. The deaths are really creative and very well executed. If only it didn't take so damn long to get to the interesting part. This movie uses a mixture of really good practical effects and a little bit of CGI for the parts of it in which plants were moving. Like I said, due to the beginning of it being kind of slow, this felt very long, and when I checked the runtime, it's actually 2 hours and 10 minutes if I'm not mistaken. But if you hang in there, the ending was worth the watch, in my opinion. One of the things that stood out to me and that I really particularly liked was the mythology that they used in this for the fertility goddess deity. It reminded me of other ancient fertility goddesses, the belief in Mother Earth, in Mother Nature, what have you. And I actually wanted to look some of this stuff up after watching the movie. And what I found out is there's a plethora of Celtic fertility goddesses: Brigid, Cernunnos, Damara, Damona, Epona, and of course there was some African fertility goddesses that I had already known about, like Ashanti, and I'm picturing her and she's wearing yellow, and I don't know why my mind is drawing a blank. Oshun. Don't ever forget about Oshun. In my research, I also found out about the Hindu goddess Parvati, also known as Uma, and sometimes known as Shakti. She's also a goddess of fertility. But I think this movie specifically is referencing the Celtic goddess Durantia. She is the goddess of trees and fertility. She's a triple goddess for fir trees. And she's also known as the Queen of the Druids. What's funny is that I think that all these different cultures are referencing the same goddess, but just calling her by different names. Because this goes all the way back to the Sumerian goddess Inanna, goddess of love, sensuality, fertility, procreation, and war. She was known by the Assyrians as Ishtar and by the Greeks as Aphrodite. I think she's also known in some circles as Lilith. What's funny is we technically have a goddess standing right there in New York City. For me, that was the most interesting aspect of this whole movie. All said and done, this movie was alright. Not bad, not great, just alright. But like I always say, just because I love something doesn't mean you won't hate it. Just because I hate something doesn't mean you won't love it. Did you check out Apostle, and what did you think about it? Bye.